welcome to tonight's Downton Gabby, the Downton Abbey Chat Show, episode 2 video. Blech. So, this episode started out with the old intro. It's back! Isis butt! Okay, so, the episode also started out with a blast from the past. The downstairs crew got a letter from the old housemaid from season 1, Gwen, who went off to become a secretary with the house's blessings, of course. So, she wrote and she was like, guess what, y'all? I'm married. You know what I have to say? You go, Gwen Coco. So, she was like, I want to come back and, like, introduce him to everyone. We'll see if you come back or not. So, that happened. Also in the mail, there was a package for Lady Mary, but Carson was all like, this is Matthew's stuff, so we should give it to Lord Grantham, because she's probably gonna cry about it. What the what? Lord Grantham is like, yes, I will look at this. So he's going through the stuff that belongs to Mary's deceased husband, which means it belongs to her. But he was like, no, I'll look at it first. And the first thing I noticed when they opened the box, oh my god, the little toy doggy. It was the one that she gave him before he went off to war. And it's so sad, but it's like back in her possession, so that's really sad. But also, there was a letter in a book that just dropped out. It was from Matthew before they left for Scotland, which happened in the Christmas episode, season 3. So, the letter was like, yo, Mary's gonna be the sole heiress if I die. No, sole heiress if I decide that I want to be written off of the show, which she was. So, that's kind of like a will, but kind of not. So Lord Grantham takes that over to the Dowager Countess's house, and he's like, what do I do? And she calls him out, because it's so obvious that he wants to have full control of the estate again, so he's trying to give half of the control to this freaking baby who's without a nanny right now, and it could be given to Mary, because that's what Matthew wanted, clearly, from this letter. So then they're reading the letter, and Mary can't even do it. She's like, I can't. So Lord Grantham reads it, and I was really, really hoping for a Dan Stevens voiceover at this point, who plays Matthew Crawley, or played Matthew Crawley, but we didn't get it, because he's like, I'm done with this show. So the big question is, does it count as a will or not? So they send it off to the lawyer. We get back to that. It's basically everyone versus Robert at this point, because everyone's like, let Mary have control or half control because she deserves it. Don't be a D-bag. So, and he's all, no. So, the Dowager goes behind his back and sets up some estate lessons with Tom, because she's like, Tom, she's gonna listen to you, encourage her. So it's very Miss Congeniality, Princess Diaries, that kind of thing. Stereotypical, like, give lessons story. I don't know. But it was really nice to see them hanging out together, and he was like showing her the ropes, or really the farms. So that was cool. Conclusion for this storyline, the letter counts, according to the lawyer. It counts. Mary owns half the estate. Sorry, Robert. Or as Cora would say, Robert. So yeah, it's up to her if she wants to do it or not, and I think she's gonna do it. So, next storyline. How sad was it seeing Mosley doing hard labor? He had all like dirt up in here. I couldn't tell what was hair and what was dirt, but he was so embarrassed when Anna saw him. That was really sad. So Anna is talking to him. She realizes that he's fallen on some tough times, and she wants to help him pay his debts, which are pretty extensive. So she tells Bates about it. She's like, I want to help Mosley, and he's like, I just want to make you happy. And that was so cute. Go Bates! Yay! So, come on, I know you're gonna jump up. Just jump up. Come on. So Bates, he goes and he gets money from the Dowager. He's like, Mosley needs help. Let's do this. So he gets the money. He forges a signature, because apparently he's really good at that. I guess he learned that in prison. And he gave Mosley 30 pounds, which is like a ton of money back then. So he wouldn't just accept it outright. So he like pretends that Mosley loaned him money when he first got there, and this is like him paying it back. So that was crazy. But anyway, that's all wrapped up. Okay, Carson's friend from last week, he's staying with Isabel. Isabel is very enterprising. She went and she found this guy a job at an opera house, and he's getting ready to ship out, go do his work. So we find out why Carson doesn't want to see his friend, and it's because he stole his lady. I guess it was like Alice from the Brady Bunch. Not really, but her name was Alice, and I just think of the Brady Bunch because they worked that Alice so hard. She didn't have a lot of free time, so she was basically a servant, just like Carson. But anyway, Carson in the end does show up at the train station to say goodbye to his friend, which was really nice, and they kind of had some closure. The friend was like, yeah, she wanted to be with you anyway. It was weird. So, I mean, Carson felt good about it, but the sad news is that Alice died 5 years ago in Downton Abbey time, so that's rough. They'll never be together. But that leaves hope for a Carson Mrs. Hughes romance. I'm still pulling for it. So, that Rose is a crazy biatch. I told you guys that her storyline was gonna pick up this week, and it did. So she like begged Anna to be her chaperone for this dance hall dance thing, and I think it was in like York. I may have just made that up, but I think it was in York. And apparently Jimmy had the day off too, and he just followed them right in there. And it ended up being a good thing that he followed them, but we'll get there. So you know it's bad news when you pull out the fake name at like an evening out or whatever, at a dance. You shouldn't have to do that. If you're pulling out a fake name, you shouldn't be talking to that person. Sorry. So then there were all these guys fighting over Rose because they all wanted to dance with her or other things with her. And there was a fight, and Jimmy and Anna got her out of there before she could get arrested, so that was good, because that would have been the controversy of the century, or the decade, or the year. So, I mean, the way things happen on this show, the hour. So, then, later that same day, the guy shows up at Downton, and it's like, ah! So she puts on a maid's outfit, because she's got to keep up the illusion, or else he's gonna go bragging and be like, yo, guess who I danced with? It's kind of a big deal. So just get out. It's weird. You're kind of like a stalker. But she kissed him, and she was like, oh, I promised that I was gonna marry this farmer, so sorry. Bye. So that kind of wrapped up. But I guess Rose and the servants kind of have a little agreement or bond now because of what happened. Because Jimmy saw her kiss that guy. So, alright. Final storyline for this episode. Thomas and Edna. Interesting interactions going on here. It looks like they're both looking for allies, and they may have found them in each other, maybe not, maybe they did. But Edna messed up one of Cora's blouses, and Thomas was trying to defend her to Cora. She's like, oh, she didn't want to tell you, but someone else was to blame for that. And he put the blame on Anna. Oh, hell no. So basically it got back to Anna. It was really awkward because, you know, they were just sitting there with her. She was like laughing at something Thomas said, and they were just like, what are you laughing at? What's so freaking funny? So it was very awkward, and I foresee some issues amongst those four. Next time, there's an opera singer, there's a potential new suitor for Lady Mary, and gambling. You know why? Because it's a house party, which is like one of the most exciting things to happen during this time period. These things could go on for like weeks. I'm not kidding. So it's going to be a really exciting episode. You guys should definitely tune in. It's going to be an emotional episode. That's all I'm going to say. Tune in. It's emotional. It's going to be great. Till next time, much love.
Edit.